What's up, my YouTube friends? Well, I just got a little update tonight. You ain't gonna see me working at all tonight. I just got done putting in about a 4-hour evening in out here. Bunch of different little things we're trying to do, trying to mock stuff up, and I just want to talk about the engine, where we're at on this, getting the cleanup done on it. It's getting there. I still got some final cleanup on stuff to do before I start reassembling it. I'm really close. But it's that time of the night to do some thinking and some reflecting. Here's for all my Busch Light fans. Oh, that is unreal. I love that stuff. All right, I got a tech tip though, and I got a short little story for you. You ever been in a project? You're about in the middle of the project, and you realize that your shop cat's gonna jump up onto the bench during your video. Come here, Caddy. Come on. Yeah, this is the guy that keeps all the mice out of this shop around here. Caddy. We named him simply Caddy. So go find something to do for a little bit. We got a video to shoot here, can't you tell? Leave me alone. All right, so you're in the middle of a project, and you suddenly realize what you are is in the center car of a train wreck. And most people that are smart enough would jump out the window and run from the train wreck as fast as they can. No, not me. I'm gonna stay in my seat like I'm supposed to, and I'm gonna somehow figure out how to save this train wreck. Right here. Most people would have ran from this thing. Most people have parted out sleds for less issues than this thing has had. First of all, the wrist pin bearing went out in it, destroyed the cylinder, destroyed the piston. It made a mess on the PTO side. A guy on Facebook offered me up piston cylinder head, boom, right off the bat. Excellent. I get a friendship going with him, sends me the parts. Everybody's happy. It's awesome. I finally get around to taking the crankcase apart on this thing, and as soon as I get this recoil off, get the starter hub off, and I get to pull the flywheel, I notice there's something bad going on right away again. I'm like, God, my luck. It looks like either the screws came loose or somebody had been in there and didn't do a really good job on tightening them screws back up. Because one thing is the magnets are coming apart on this thing. The second thing is this thing was rattling around in there, and it was all the way one way, so the screws were loose, it was cocked all the way one way, and the flywheel's been rubbing into the stator plate and stuff, and I'm like, God dang it, now what do I do? I was ready to run. I'm like, nope, I've restored worse than this. That's the problem when you start off into this snowmobile hobby of restoring snowmobiles. You realize you can fix anything and everything, and then it's in your goal to fix anything and everything and not lose one. I'm not gonna lose one yet. I've never lost one. So I get a hold of my buddy that got me the cylinder. I'm gonna throw his name out here. And Dave, I'm apologizing ahead of time if I butcher your name, but I speak Minnesotan. I don't speak New England or Northeast Coast. I don't speak that. So I hope it's Dave Dubrisky. I'm hoping that's what his last name is pronounced as, Dubrisky. But Dave Dubrisky is a hell of a guy, and it seems like he's had everything I've needed every time I've reached out to him on Facebook Messenger. You can find him on Facebook in the Ultra group and under Triple Wedges, and he's in almost every Polaris group on Facebook, and you can find him easily. And Dave watches my videos, and Dave, if you want to comment, if you got a link or something on how to people to get a hold of you, if you want to put it in there, put it in there. But I just want to give a great thanks and a shout out to Dave for helping me with these parts, and he's been very, very fair with me, and he has it it's out his door. I think he has it sitting there waiting for me to get a hold of him. Oh, Todd's going to get a hold of me. He's going to need this part, and it's ready to go instantly. But this stator was just hacked. It was rubbing into the magnets. The stator's junk, flywheel's junk. But Dave's going to save this engine somehow. I'm going to do the work on it, but he's coming up with the parts that I need to make this thing keep going. So enough about this thing. Here's my tech tip for the day. Anybody dealt with one of these before? Or one of these stuck in the spindle? This one was stuck in the spindle and plus the bolt was stuck. This sucks. So we just dealt with 3 sleds here tonight. We just drove them all out with an air hammer. And we had to put a little bit of heat to 2 of them, but most of them just ran right out with the air hammer. You got to cut your bolts off and pry the skis off to get that thing off with your bolt still stuck in it. But what I do, and I'm sure plenty of people already know this little trick and hack or whatever you want to call it, but I mean, you can get brand new bushings for these spindles, and they kind of come in a aluminum plastic now or something, but I'm cheap. If I have something around here to make it, I'm going to make it. And I just run on down to my local steel yard and I get DOM tubing that is 5/8 with a 3/8 hole in it. It's DOM, and I make my own bushings. I buy a 5-foot stick of this thing for, it ain't much, and I can make a whole pile of these things because they're only 3 inches long. So I mean, you can make a lot of these things out of a 5-foot stick because I make them all the time. Because every sled we get in here, these things are stuck in the spindles. So what we do is we cut them down, and then we drill a 1/4 inch hole through the bushing, just in one side. See, just a little hole. And then I take a cutoff wheel, and I cut a groove down it. Not very deep, just a little shallow groove. And what that does is when you grease your spindle grease bearing that you have down there by your ski, that you should be putting grease in, because it seems like every sled I've ever gotten, nobody knew what that little fitting's for, because there's never grease in them, and these are always rusted in there. When you grease it, this little channel, this little groove here, as it's rotating inside your spindle, it's going to drive the grease to this hole eventually, and it's going to end up on your bolt. So your bolt's not going to get stuck in there either. This is what I do. It's pretty simple. This might not be news to anybody, but I just wanted to show this for some people that's never seen this before. It's a really easy thing to do. I mean, you can even do this with like a Sawzall blade or something. Whatever you got. I mean, you can make these things with whatever tools you have. It doesn't take anything fancy. But I just happen to use a cutoff wheel and run right down it. Just a little bit of a groove. So that's that. That's my check tip. I'm getting kind of a dry throat here. Hang on. Cheers. All right, guys. Let's take a look at our projects right now. We are stretching out. Trenton's stretching out his RXL to a 136. I'm stretching out Ultra Redemption to a 136. We got the Trax USA rail extensions, very heavy duty, very nice extensions. Quality, quality, quality. I mean, they look like your rail once they're on. I mean, they're just awesome extensions. We just put them on. Let's walk around. I made up some tunnel extensions here. I just fabbed up some of my own extensions. I didn't want to buy them. So here's our rail extensions to go to a 136. Like I said, these are really nice extensions. So I got the skid all extended out. I fabbed up these tunnel extensions myself. I just got them mocked up on here right now, and I'm going to have to sand them and paint them. I'm going to build 2 bumpers tomorrow for both sleds. I just kind of tapered it up. Got the bend in the back. I welded the corners shut, whatnot, so here's Trenton's. I got his all mocked up on there too on his RXL here, on his 94. He's got it just an 8-inch with the Fox shocks and stuff, and he's extending his out too. We got a couple nice brand spanking new 136 tracks. We're gonna put one in his and one in Ultra Redemption. So here's a storm. Not much going on. Still waiting on powder coat. This Friday, he's supposed to be getting his parts back this Friday, and then this thing's gonna take shape fast. It's just sitting there, just shaking. It's just ready for its parts, and it's gonna go together fast. So that's going to look different the next time. Mocking up some handlebars on Ultra Redemption. I don't even know if you guys seen underneath the hood of this thing. Well, what hood? I took the hood off so we could clean it up some more. Fixed up some Fox shocks for the front of it over the weekend. I had a set of Fox shocks here. The paint was all crappy on it and whatnot, so I repainted the bodies and painted the springs. And I don't know. If I'm putting a part on, I can't put it on looking like shit. I can't do it. Won't do it. So if I'm putting the part on, it's going to look new when it goes on the sled. If it's already on the sled and looks like shit, that's one thing. But if I'm putting it on, I have to make it look nicer than what it is. So I don't know. That's my fault, I guess. But here's an AirTech tip. I did all this bead blasting on my parts, and a guy commented and said, "Hey, Todd, Tech tip, spray your blasted aluminum with WD-40 and let it soak for a couple days. That way, if there's ever oil and grease on it in the future, it wipes right off. It doesn't stick to it. And I actually used to do this when I was restoring free air sleds, when I'd bead blast the engines and the fins and everything on the free airs and all that. I actually sprayed a silicone spray on that aluminum, but somebody recommended this. I'm going WD-40 because, I mean, I think you can wash your hands. You can do everything with WD-40, so why not spray it on your aluminum? 'Cause I had it here. I didn't have the silicone spray, so I sprayed the WD-40 on there. So that's all I got for now, guys. Sorry if I babbled on, but I hope I gave a couple little tech tips to everybody that does watch. Hopefully you learned something here. And once again, thanks, Dave Dubrisky. I hope that's how it's pronounced. So thanks a lot, guys. And I got a few other names I'm going to throw out there. I've had quite a few people actually helping me with advice and other stuff behind the scenes here, and I'll be throwing their names out here pretty soon too. But I only can do one at a time because I have a tough time pronouncing some of them. So thanks, guys. Keep watching.